Welcome to the Spotlight Series. I'm your host, Scott Nerney. It's Tuesday night at the Cuisin Inn. Don't forget to like this, subscribe, forward it, so you can see all of our great videos, especially when we have guests like Barış from Gallery Z. Welcome to the Spotlight Series. Welcome back.
Thank you, Scott. Good to see you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
First, those who may not have seen some of your earlier videos, give us a little overview of yourself and your background.
Sure. First of all, I want to thank you, and I want to thank Dina from Rhode Island Wave, incredible person, a graphic artist, a dear, sweet friend of mine. So Gallery Z has been on this video a number of sessions, a number of years, and we always look forward to participating and contributing to the arts for the community in Rhode Island and people at large. Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about Gallery Z. It's an Armenian first gallery.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about the proud heritage that brings.
Sure, Scott. So Gallery Z was founded January 2001 in a sort of a studio-based kind of a house, industrial kind of building, and then a few years later moved to Federal Hill in a hot spot of right in the heart of historic Federal Hill. And was up there for about 20 years. And then about 3 years ago, today we're talking March 2024, right after COVID actually, we decided in early 2020 to move to Warwick in an industrial park. The address is 100 Bellows Street. And it's in Warwick. We're in unit number 8. Gallery Z represents upwards of 400 artists, and as you mentioned, the lean or the weight of the artists are majority, or at least 50-60% Armenian artists, living and non-living, and international based artists. We have artists from Massachusetts, San Francisco, Paris, Iran, Lebanon, and particularly Armenia.
And overall in the history, I think people get wowed by some of the numbers, so I want to really produce them as well and talk about it. Roughly how many exhibits have you had in the museum?
Oh boy,
gallery.
At the gallery, I've lost track. We used to have, for consecutive 22 years, we used to have every third Thursday of the month. That was the standard. And in addition to about 10 years, we had a public art window. We used to have, I believe, the last Friday of the month. In addition, we had at least one, sometimes twice a month, private, I would say upwards of 300 plus exhibits, and very extensive. We always serve food, finger food, wine, and of course, being on Federal Hill, we were catered by about 4 to 6 very nice restaurants, and we always served water and white wine, red wine, sometimes some alcohol drinks, but sometimes beer, but mostly red and white wine, yeah.
And a lot of your exhibits are actually spread around the state in some restaurants and
yeah,
areas.
we're in today. We used to be in about 22 facilities. Now we're in about 15, including our at least about 12 restaurants and cafes, law firm, various facilities where people come and enjoy art, and we're not pushy. We have signage sometimes if restaurants allow us, and we rotate them. I'd say biannually. We used to do monthly, quarterly. So one of them is, for example, Zuma restaurant on Federal Hill, and we take pride in Zuma. And also right across the street on the left side is Monique Gabrielino. She's a clothing designer. So I've been with her for about 20 years also. We have about a dozen pieces there. Yeah.
Nice. Let's talk a little bit about inside the gallery, the Moby exhibit.
So fortunately, about 14 years ago, we launched a secondary art facility, a mobile facility, and it was a very nice project. Bought 79 Federal Express Chevrolet truck called the P30, and the big truck, 30-foot truck. The bed is 18 foot or so. Aluminum truck, and converted it to an Artmobile, and we saw Artmobile with a capital A and a capital M on the mobile combined. We were featured about 13-14 years ago in the New York Times Sunday magazine as an Artmobile, a new concept, not food truck, and his name is Moby. So Moby claims to bring good things to people. Unfortunately, since October 2019, Moby has not been out right before COVID. Moby is always registered legally and has insurance and has been parked in a new location at 100 Bellows Street. And Moby is an Artmobile that is self-contained with many amenities. We have a small mini bar, we have track lighting, we have security system, we have speakers inside, outside. We have hardwood floors. We have about 22 sponsors for Mobile, and it has a hanging art system, and it has many amenities. So what we did was, and I'm going to introduce you in a few minutes to Julian Penrose, a good friend, a great artist, and also the curator for the gallery. So last year, Julian thought that we should involve Moby in somehow, some way. Moby has been coming into the garage of the current Gallery Z, which has a big garage doors. You press the button, the garage door opens, big truck comes in. It's about 12 feet wide. I think the Moby is about 8 or 9, 10 feet. He comes in and he parks. And we elevate it so when people walk in, don't make a disturbance like we feel seasick. So his concept was to bring art in Moby and to show art within art in the gallery. So we're featuring art of many collections, a lot of original art, and all hand selected by Julian and myself, mostly Julian, and of course hung and curated. And every piece of art in Moby, and the reception for this last one, because we had one in February and we had one in January, will be March 30th, the last Saturday of March, from 12 to 5 p.m. And it'll be 50% of every piece of art in Moby, the Artmobile. I have some collectible work, fine art, some Japanese prints, some beautiful works, and some hand-painted, some photographs, some watercolors, and mediums of various types, and various artists from around the world. Yeah.
So before we bring Julian in to talk about Moby a little further, give the website so
Sure.
people have
The
it.
Gallery Z website is www.galleryzprov.com.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. So let's take a look at video of Gallery Z and Moby and see a little bit about what happens there.
Sure. Yeah, and this is actually the T-shirt of the Artmobile Moby.
So that's fantastic, beautiful sights that we're seeing there. And I'd like to welcome to our interview Julian. Welcome to
Thank
the Spotlight Series.
Hi, Julian.
Thank
I'm
you.
going to say artist first, curator also first of
Well,
with
thank you.
Gallery Z.
Uh-huh.
Congratulations on the effort that you're putting forward here.
Mhm.
Give us a little background of yourself.
Well, I've been an artist since a child, and well, and through college, and I got to know Berge about 12 to 15 years ago. At this point, it's like, and we've worked together for the last that many years, and he's been a great inspiration to me and a great supporter, and very honored to be friends with him. And
One of the questions I had, if people look at your biography online, is you were in California, Seattle. You've been on the West Coast. Now
Yep.
you're on the East Coast. How do you translate what you learn and your experiences on that side to what is, as you know, is popular and creative here on this side?
Well, I think it's a lot of understanding the different cultures of art, different eras, different ages. It's always fascinated me. History has always been a big part of my background. Not that I'm I'm not a a art major, an art historian, but I find that when I see work that I think has quality to it, I stand up for it and try to bring it forth. Um, and I've gotten to know some great artists through working together, and and it perpetuates my own work at the same time.
How do you judge when you're looking to curate something to say the excitement of seeing something that might be representative of a past era or past thought or mission to something that's not even part of our future yet? Someone that's looking forward in their art. How do you kind of weigh the two?
Well, when we put together shows, we look for a common thread, a theme that we want to work on, and pieces that will work in that situation. It can be around different holidays, different events, and different historical, just very it's,
The themes, right?
yeah, themes. I mean, yeah, it's yeah, we have themes. We create shows that we want to highlight a certain amount of work, especially the Armenian work, which is exceptional and very incredible collection. And it, as I think you mentioned, um, it's valuable to the culture itself.
And talk a little bit about the difference between if you're curating an art display on the walls versus what you did with Moby. You're working in a refined space, but you're bringing inside to the inside.
No, that's a good question. I really loved working on Moby because it was kind of like working in a dollhouse. It was like a miniature gallery, and it was, and you wanted that intimacy. It's a great space to visit, even if you're not going to buy a piece of art, but you should buy a piece of art. But um, I really think that I love Berge's vision of art and taking art. I want him to. I hope we can get Moby on the road again. So because I like the idea of
He's been encouraging. He's been pushing the idea.
yeah.
Yeah, it takes
And
a lot of energy.
it has so many different, look at the whole food truck industry. It can integrate with that, and it's a mobile, it's a mobile adventure.
Well, I think a lot of people would look at it as, now, and I'm going to put it in terms where people may not have watched this video before. An old FedEx truck is going to show up with art inside.
Well, it doesn't look like a FedEx truck.
But, right, exactly. I mean, it's a beautiful, different version of a FedEx truck. When you said earlier, the hardwood floors, the track lighting, you've done everything you can to make it.
Persian rugs.
Yeah.
Mahogany trim.
Yeah, everything to make it a mobile studio.
Yeah.
Right.
Which I think is no one thinks of, no one's thought of.
Yeah.
This would be like if you say like a food truck, it would be more like a fine dining vehicle shows up.
No, definitely, and we've even talked in the past of having dinners in the truck.
In the truck, like maybe 4 couples.
A catered event of some sort, small, intimate.
Yeah.
We just missed Valentine's Day. That would have been perfect.
Oh well.
I'm asked
2025?
Every few months or so. I'm asked to bring the truck. It's just right now, of course, it's been in the gallery space since December, and it'll come out first week of April. So we also happen to be in the side of Rhode Island called West Warwick. We're in the Mock Studio, wonderful place here that Dina sets up in Cohasset Inn. It's a restaurant that actually Gallery Z for the last 4 or 5 years supplies art. We have about 40-50 pieces of art. No, I'm sorry, not 40, maybe 30 pieces of art. About original work, about 7 artists. So I'm very happy that Jim allows us to do that, the owner, and very grateful for his help during over 20 years ago during the station house fire right across the street in West Warwick, Rhode Island. Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about what's on the bucket list at Gallery Z.
Well, I wanted to also mention about Julian, about him being the curator of the gallery and incredible artist. His sense of balance is all over the place for me because I always think about symmetry, and he always violates the symmetry, and I love that. I actually have upwards of almost 20 pieces of his work I have acquired in the last 15 years or so. The bucket list. So the gallery reopens itself as, besides the, of course, receptions we're having every last Saturday of the month. In April, after the truck is moved out, we're going to have a retrospective exhibition of the Elibekian family. And this is the family that has 3 generations plus 1. And the father, Robert Elibekian, has a big, himself, an exhibition in the National Art Gallery in Armenia. So April and May will be that exhibition at the gallery. And then there's other exhibitions coming up in the near future after that.
Okay. And Julian, what's on the horizon for yourself?
Oh, I just keep working along and helping Berge, and hopefully we'll have something to show soon. But nothing on the docket. So
That this summer Moby can get out?
we
Let him loose on the state, maybe a little bit?
We're hoping to. Yeah, it takes a lot of energy.
Yeah, it takes planning.
It takes planning. We are insured and registered and all this. It's just, going to places. We've done festivals, we've done old age homes, we've done youth seminars, we've done churches, and, private events, the Met School and other events. And, it's a production, taking the truck out.
Sure.
Besides liability, it takes courage to actually assemble an entire exhibit, a custom exhibit designated for the theme or the facility we're going to. And sometimes we leave it as an empty, naked truck, and the people there fill their artwork with the truck, with the advantage of the track lighting and the dimming and of course the hanging system. That helps quite a bit, you know.
And music.
And music, yeah.
And the wine cooler.
And the Wanko.
And of course our TV monitors and projection and
It's a three-dimensional environment.
It's almost like sitting inside a piece of art, looking at art.
Yep. No, it is.
That's what it is.
Yep.
That's exactly what it is. Yeah, it's wonderful. I'm very proud of it. It was a concept that took
It took quite a while.
It took about 8 months to get the truck up and running, upwards of almost $40,000, and fortunately we had some sponsors. One was Coffee Exchange, you know, right on the east side. And Charlie gave a coffee machine and would give us a pound of coffee every month. Things like this, you know. Ted from Sweet Lumber, he provided the Brazilian mahogany for the outskirts of the truck, and the hardwood floors on the floors, and the insulation and all this material. Some were donations and some were bought out, of course, you know. So here's Moby, the Artmobile. You know, it's not spelled like this. Usually A is capital, T is capital, and we say he brings good things to people. You know.
Well, I'm really thrilled to see the gallery in the gallery, and what you're doing with Moby. And at the end of the month, I see here we're advertising that 50% off a lot of the items in Moby.
All of the items,
sale.
yeah. Whatever is in Moby is 50% off the whatever marked price it is on. Yeah,
Okay.
which is a great deal. Yeah.
And I think it's important that we mention that only in Rhode Island art is tax-free.
That's right.
So that you're saving another 7% really based upon the 50% off. So it's a
You do
good
the
time
math. You do well.
Yeah, I have a lot of practice.
Yeah.
I prep for the meetings.
Yeah.
And it's quality work. It's not just
And every piece that gets bought is one less you have to take out. I see it. I see the clock working. Yeah. No, we're really thrilled every time you come and spend some time with us. You're doing fantastic work over there, Julian. Congratulations on
Thank you.
Moving from just artist to artist and curator, and doing so much great work. And we're really looking forward to seeing what Beyond the Spring brings. And
I wanted to intervene, and I want to mention that there's actually one piece that Julian allowed for the gallery to have inside Artmobile. So that's an opportunity to purchase at 50%. So
and I do have other pieces at the gallery too. So.
to get them before Bursch does.
yes.
I think I've tapped him out.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you,
Really
Scott.
appreciate it.
Thank you, Dina.